Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Welcome once again to Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's YouTube Sunday service. Today's service is for July 25th, 2021. And today we are observing our Obon major service as well as our family gratitude remembrance. So today's service has begun already with the Kansho, the ringing of the temple bell to call us all to mindfulness to hear the Dharma. After these words, we will chant the Vandana and Tisarana, praising the Buddha and the Buddha's enlightenment, and then taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. After that, we will chant the English version of the Sutra Juseige. It's called Verses Reaffirming the Vows in English. And then we will recite the Golden Chain of Love. After that, I will share a Dharma message with you, and then we will chant the Metta, or the loving kindness meditation. Following that, we will sing the Nembutsu, and then we'll have some closing words and announcements. So glad that you're able to join us again today. And just as to let you know, we're also having an in-person service at this Sunday as well at 9 a.m. So if you are watching this at the same time, that's great. And otherwise, if you happen to watch it earlier, if you're on Maui, there's still an opportunity to come to the in-person service. So that will be, you're very welcome to come. So thank you very much. And let's now begin our service by putting our hands together in Kansho and reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We gather together this morning at Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple to observe our Obon service, at which we honor, remember, and celebrate the lives of all our beloved family members and friends who have passed away. Today, we also remember our loved ones who have passed away, particularly those whose memorials are observed in this month for our family gratitude remembrance. In appreciation of them, let us reflect on the transience, the uncertainty, and the impermanence of our existence so that we may all awaken to realize the true significance of living. Let us live our lives in gratitude for the many great kindnesses we have received, and let us seek to repay our debt of gratitude we owe to all of our loved ones and friends for the countless gifts we have received. In deepest gratitude, let us repeat the name which is true reality itself, boundless light, boundless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Gods and men all bow in awe to Amida the revered, in Buddha's wondrous pure land. Bodhisattvas gather round, golden form like the mountain king, steadfast like the elephant's pace, Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida, Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like thousand suns and moons, Buddha's voice like the nightingale. Thus I bow to Amida, Buddha's figure on Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha subdues evilness. Thus I bow to Amida, beyond compare Amida's pure, virtue shining clear like space, all benefit from Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida, Bodhisattvas all renown, Maras to praise Amida, primal vow made for our sake. Thus I bow to Amida, golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king. Thus I bow to Amida, Bodhisattvas come afar, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face. Thus I bow to Amida. All life changes like the dew. We have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all. Thus I bow to Amida. No evil in the pure land, and no fear of evil paths. Faithful hearts honor Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida, saving us through many ways. No tempters, no evil friends. Birth leads to enlightenment. Thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised virtues boundless like the sea. These virtues shared with others for birth into the pure land. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, welcome once again to our Obon service today, and at this time I would like to share some thoughts about the Buddha's teaching with you. I'd like to talk a little bit about the meaning of Obon. So as we begin, please join me in Kansho as we recite one of the poems of Shinran Shonin. When a person realizes the mind of non-judging, that attainment is called the state of regarding every being as one's only child. This is none other than Buddha nature. We will awaken to it on reaching the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, it's been a tough year, or more than almost 2 years, I think, what we've lived through this time with the pandemic and all the troubles in the world. Now we have consequences of climate change. Our actions there are kind of coming, making themselves, making the manifestation of our actions. In Buddhism, we call that karma. Are making themselves clear in the world. So it's been quite a time, and it shows us that life is very unpredictable. Maybe it could be predicted, but it's very hard for us to predict, and we cannot. But the main thing is that we have the delusion that things should go the way we want them to go. But these last couple of years have been a very strong reminder that things don't always go the way we want. We can't count on that. We humans easily get lulled into a sense of complacency, and we come to expect everything to go according to our plans, to our agenda. But life can really surprise us. Buddhism teaches that everything happens according to karma, causes and conditions, and so we shouldn't be surprised when the consequences of our actions manifest themselves. Nevertheless, anything that we truly learn through our experiences, any teaching that can awaken us is a positive thing, even in the midst of great troubles. Right now we're in the Obon season, which is a time of joy. Even though we cannot have a Bon dance this year, even though we're living in the midst of troubles. Obon is called Kangi-e, the gathering of joy, in Shin Buddhist tradition. The joy of Obon is not the kind of happiness from getting what we want, from good luck or success for myself or for my family, or having things go my way, getting wealthy or whatever, you know. The Kangi is the joy of being shown the truth of what I truly am, no matter how unpleasant or surprising that truth may seem to be. It is the joy of realizing that even one such as I am embraced within Amida Buddha's great wisdom and compassion. In the mythical story of Obon, which is found in a Buddhist scripture called the Ulambana Sutra, we are told that an enlightened monk named Mahamoggallana had a vision of his mother suffering in hell. Mahamoggallana's mom was suffering for being gluttonous and greedy in life, and so now she was a hungry ghost who could never satisfy her hunger. Her son was really upset and wanted to help her, so he asked for the Buddha for guidance. The Buddha told him to make offerings to all the monks in the Sangha, and their combined efforts would free her from this suffering. So he did that, and she was set free. From that time on, we are told by the sutra, it became a tradition to make offerings to the monks at this time of year in order to help loved ones who might be suffering in the next world, and also to support the temples. It was kind of a fundraising story. This is the basic idea of Obon that most people are familiar with, that we can help those in the next world through making offerings and performing rituals. This is the most common understanding of Obon, but in Jodo Shinshu, or Shin Buddhism, we understand and celebrate Obon quite differently, or we should anyway. So I want to say a little bit about Moggallana's mother and her condition after death. So she was supposed to have been a hungry ghost. She went to the realm of hungry ghosts. When Moggallana saw her there, he tried to send a bowl of rice into the realm of hungry ghosts for his mother to eat. However, the realm of hungry ghosts is the place where people who are totally filled with desire and insatiable appetites live, and such people are always hungry and are never satisfied. They are not able to be satisfied because they always want more. No matter what they get, they always want more. So when Moggallana's mother received the rice, it said it turned to charcoal in her mouth. That means she could not benefit from it. The real meaning of Buddhist hells is actually, they're not literal. They're not meant to be literal, that you go there after death. And of course in Buddhism, it's an important thing to reflect on is that who is the I that lives after death. We understand that the self is a construct of our causes and conditions, and that's always changing. So hells after death are symbolic. They're also descriptions of psychological states that we go through every day. Hungry Ghosts teaches us that we human beings often find ourselves in this kind of psychological state. You see, it's really a state we experience in our lives, not after. Well, nobody knows really what happens after death. Whenever I am unappreciative of what I have right now, when I always want more and more and I'm never satisfied, when I expect things to go my way, I am temporarily in that realm. I'm a hungry ghost. It is like when you keep, when you keep looking in the refrigerator, but you just can't find anything you want, but you keep going back and looking. You want something, but you don't know what, but you want something. It's a cycle we go through. It's dissatisfaction, you see. We kind of don't appreciate the moment, and so we're looking for something to make us feel fulfilled, even though we don't need it. So that's the hungry ghost. That's being a hungry ghost. We all go through that. We're often not happy with what we have or with who we are. We always want something more, something better. So the story of Mahamoggallana is very positive. It's about a son wanting to help his mother, even if she wasn't perfect, right? Even though she was supposed to be in the realm of hungry ghosts, so she was a selfish person, but he still owes her. He realizes he loves his mother, and he owes her a profound debt of gratitude. But there's another aspect to it which we should also reflect on, which is the fact that people have always accepted the idea of punishment after death. And this is something I think we should very much need to put aside. Unfortunately, we human beings, we tend to be judgmental. We can't stand to think that people, or at least other people, are not getting punished for their bad actions. But in this world, it's obvious that people don't always get what they deserve, right? Punishment or reward. And, I don't always get rewarded for my good actions, but probably lots of bad actions that I never got punished for. You see, we tend to feel that people, but we feel, especially other people, they ought to get punished, or rewarded. Maybe they should get their true reward sometime. And if they don't get it in this life, then that person should get punished after death. We feel that, even if we don't say it. We hope it will happen, at least after death. So we humans have invented all these stories and myths about rewards and punishments that await people in the next world. Of course, these stories tell us more about ourselves, about our human kind of unkindness, unwillingness to forgive, unwillingness to tolerate each other. We want to punish other people, and also it's kind of a way of controlling people. So if you tell people you're going to be punished in the next world, then they might behave better in this world. So it's always been a kind of a way of keeping people to behave themselves in society. But anyway, these stories tell us more about ourselves than they do about the afterlife, which we actually know nothing about, really. But how about the Shin Buddhist view of Obon, of all this? So we Shin Buddhists celebrate Obon, but since our focus is on trusting Amida Buddha, trusting limitless, boundless compassion and love, we don't need to have any fear about the condition of our loved ones in the next world. Traditionally, Shin Buddhists think of Amida as a parent, a loving mother and father, who is always working to help all of us, to save all of us from the results of our bad actions. No matter what we may have done, our loving parent, Amida, embraces us with love and acceptance. Amida is boundless love, boundless compassion. In our everyday life, we do need consequences, of course, to learn wisdom. That's what karma is, really, just the natural consequences of our actions. Sometimes it can be kind of harsh, but that reflects the kinds of conditions we've set up. But it's usually not personal. The consequences of our heating up the environment with burning fossil fuels all the time is already showing itself to be kind of a very harsh punishment, or harsh result, consequence. But it's not personal. It affects everyone equally, which is another reason why we have to be careful of how we behave, what we do, because our actions affect the innocent and the guilty. Right? They affect everyone. And when we think about how can we if we need to be motivated to stop burning fossil fuels, to stop causing global warming, we should think of the children that come after us who will suffer those consequences. They didn't cause it, but they will suffer it. So, but the idea of Amida is not the causes and conditions, not the karma, but the fundamental love, the fundamental compassion at the root of existence itself that makes it possible for us to live. It's interdependence. It's the totality of life, the wholeness, the oneness of life. That's what Amida really is. So we see Amida as a non-judging, a non-judgmental, loving parent. And that's very important because it helps us realize the meaning of Nembutsu, the meaning of Buddhism. So Amida literally means limitless compassion, limitless life. It always surrounding us, always embracing us. This moment of life is a gift of infinite compassion that we are receiving right now. That's what life really is. So when I say Namo Amida Butsu, I'm embraced by compassion. We're all totally accepted with all of our faults, with all of our karmic conditions. We're totally accepted. And that means that everything that happens in our life, good or bad, is equally valuable. As a Shin Buddhist, I don't need to escape the consequences of my karma, my actions. I can gain wisdom and realize compassion from everything that happens to me, even the very negative things. The Nembutsu teaches us to look at ourselves very honestly. We can say, yes, I have done bad things. Sometimes some things I've done, I'm very ashamed of. But, and then we can learn from our actions. When we see ourselves as we really are, with good and bad mixed together, we can begin to truly appreciate other people and what we receive from others. We are all the same, so we don't have to judge other people. We're all good and bad. We can just accept others the way Amida accepts us, accepts me. That's also the meaning of Amida, accepting you just the way you are, so that you can accept others just the way they are. Then we can all be loving parents to each other. Isn't that really a wonderful thing? We can all be loving parents to each other. Not stern, punishing parents, but loving parents to each other, helping each other on this difficult path of life. In the Nembutsu, we can all live a life of appreciation and acceptance. I think that's what we need if we ever want to have a good and peaceful world, human world that is, a good and peaceful society. Obon is a time to remember and appreciate our departed loved ones who are completely embraced by Amida, just as we are all completely embraced right here and now. As we recite the Nembutsu, let us remember the great benevolence we have received from all of our loved ones, most importantly, the priceless gift of life itself. Thank you very much for listening, and now will you please join me in reverence, in Kansho, as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for our Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's Obon service and Family Gratitude Remembrance. And as always, I hope that there is something that you are able to take away with you that is meaningful or helpful to you today. And I'd like to thank you very much once again for coming to our service. Have just one announcement, basically. We have our in-person services in August. I'd like to let you know the dates: August 1st, August 8th, and August 22nd, and they will be all at 9 a.m. here in the temple. There will be no in-person service on August 15th or August 29th, and also no online services for those 2 dates as well. So August 15th and August 29th will be no in-person or online service. So you can check the scrolling text for the announcements at the end of the video. Thank you very much for listening, and please join me in Kansho as we end the service. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.